Next on 7 News, first at 4.
We're following some breaking news first at 4. 2 people arrested for an afternoon bank robbery, and now the FBI says they may be connected to a series of holdups.
It's all about the heavy rain for now and maybe for tomorrow, but there is some hope for the weekend.
New information released about Michael Jackson's will, including the family member that is not included.
Governor Deval Patrick taking charge. He's speaking with 7 News one-on-one.
This is going to be a marketplace which would allow you to one-stop shop for health care plans.
And President Obama going to the public to help push his health care reform. 7 News at 4 starts now.
This is 7 News at 4.
And we begin first at 4 with a weather alert. Let's give you a live picture outside Boston right now. Can you make anything out on that camera? Another dreary day, and a line of strong thunderstorms is moving through. Rumbling thunder just shaking many of our homes today. Strong storms, some of them severe, moving through the area right now.
Really, it is just a mess out there, and this is just the first batch of heavy rain. Much more is on the way. Chief Meteorologist Pete Richard has our first forecast on this first day of July, and it's still like this.
And the temps in the low 60s. Can you believe it, Francis? The rain, pretty heavy and moderate at times through Boston, southwest of town. You got to go down to Plymouth to find the nasty stuff down into New Bedford and down into Hyannis, soon to be in Hyannis here as we go through time. It will take a little while, but we'll get it out there. And it looks like this is the most intense part of the storm, too. We're watching these storms carefully for any signs of any severe weather. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning up for Plymouth County as we go through the afternoon right now. And this will be one that we'll be focusing on here going through the afternoon. Look at it. It goes down to Martha's Vineyard, too, pushing eastbound. Going to be moving out through the Cape. This is a storm that's being fed off of low-level moisture and also the upper atmosphere. Look what it did in Rhode Island, too. Up to 6 inches of rain, and the darkest shadings right here. This is color-coded, and this is the table we're going by. 3 to 6 is the red shading, but that magenta right in here in southwest Rhode Island, wow, 5 to 6 inches. Generally speaking, a ½ inch to about an inch or so from Bedford out through Worcester. Parts of Orange, too, out beyond Orange, out into the Berkshires, and lighter amounts up through Beverly and up into southern New Hampshire. And for the time being, light amounts in Plymouth, although we're adding to these amounts. Warnings up. We have a flood warning up in Plymouth County. We also have a flash flood watch up until about 8 o'clock for most of eastern Massachusetts. And we're also looking at flash flood warnings for all that rain in eastern Connecticut and southern Rhode Island, too. So a busy afternoon in terms of wet weather and flooding. That will be going on through the night, although I do expect this batch of rain to pull out, the heavy stuff at least. I have another wave in store for tomorrow. But eventually, we will get the sun back out. Stay with us.
I don't need to tell you, it's July, and we still haven't seen summer. One study saying it may not come at all. We'll explain. That's coming up on 7 News at 5 o'clock.
There's breaking news this afternoon in Needham. The FBI says 2 people have been arrested in connection to the U-30 bank robber. Both of those people were taken into custody this afternoon after a bank robbery in Needham. 7's Victoria Warren joins us on the phone in Needham with more on this breaking story.
That's right. This happened at the Sovereign Bank in Needham at the corner of Webster and Highland Avenue. It all happened around 1:30 this afternoon. It's still a very active scene out here. Police able to gather evidence dropped in the parking lot. There was a gun that they gathered and also a bag of money. The robbery happening in Needham, and witnesses were able to see the whole thing. They say one suspect fled, and we've been able to find out that that suspect fled into Newton. Police surrounded a home there, and they were able to arrest that suspect, identified as 44-year-old Michael Cody. The other suspect is 32-year-old Dimitri Long. Witnesses were actually able to snap some cell phone pictures of Long as police arrested him. Witnesses say unmarked police cars just appeared from everywhere.
And we heard a whole bunch of screaming outside, so we ran to the window over there and just saw about 8 police in the street on top of a guy. Money was strewn everywhere. Cars were haphazardly parked in the middle of the road.
He was, struggling while they were putting him on the ground. It took quite a few people to put him on the ground. And then finally they had him seated in front of a police car, and then finally they put him into the police car.
Now, the two suspects are facing charges connected to this robbery, but the FBI believes the two men are involved in the U30 robberies, called U30 because the suspect is in and out of the bank in under 30 seconds. The FBI says the U30 robbers have struck 7 banks in the Metro West area, and if this is indeed the job of the U30 robbers, this would have been the 8th bank struck. The suspects will be arraigned tomorrow. We're live in Needham. Victoria Warren, 7 News.